have to lean into you for this. Sorry.
You don't take up enough space already?
Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast, which is currently trending on Twitter. Please don't fact check that. I'm down here with Miss Elizabeth enjoying a beautiful Virginian vacation at the luxurious palatial estate where my brother's retirement has placed him. It's nothing but laughs with no weight on my back, and I'm beginning to feel I'm at home. We even took a car ride down memory lane and showed that crazy hot Liz where I'd grown. While I relax here, I know that next week, I'm afraid I'll be back in CT with that dreadful chunk dizzle. Until then, I'll enjoy while at peace both my nephew and niece, who still think I'm cool because they're little. Somehow, he's hunted me down and forced me to do a podcast from several states away, and we've even suckered my brother Steven to a show again. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
I just want to point out that two things. One, you have nieces, not a niece.
It didn't rhyme if I said nieces.
So you're just singling one of them out real nice. Second off,
which one?
I don't know. Your least favorite. Also, I didn't drag you to do this at all. I got a message today from your wonderful brother and said, "Hey, we doing the podcast tonight?" And I said, "Sure."
Yeah, it's really quite the opposite. I forced you to do the one with Griffin, if anything.
Well, I don't think you forced me to do it. By the way, have you listened to that? Have you listened to that episode yet?
I listened to the intro, and then you guys gave away that I wrote the intro for him, and I was like, "Come on, bro," and I just gave up. I will listen to it. I haven't been in the car.
It was. I had a fucking great time doing it with Griff.
He has spent an inordinate amount of time sitting in an Adirondack chair in my backyard, during which he could have listened to multiple podcasts. So
I was looking at the geese.
I'm not buying the car excuse.
I was looking at the geese, he says.
Yeah,
the geese.
The palatial
It's hard for
estate.
somebody else to eat that bread.
The aforementioned palatial estate sits upon a beautiful pond. So I was looking at the geese in the pond.
Very nice, very nice. But what's been up? So Monday was my lovely wife's birthday.
Happy
birthday, Erica.
So we didn't do much on her birthday, but we went to dinner last night. We invited her friend and her daughter. So we had dinner last night, and
Was that Sam?
Huh?
Was that Sam?
Yes.
Steven.
Are we past the code name stage of the podcast now?
No, Sam is not her real name.
Oh, gotcha.
I told a story on the podcast about dropping deuces in the ocean. You know what? Steven's on the podcast. He's been to the beach a million times. You ever take a shit in the ocean?
No.
You're lying, right?
Oh my. Pat, what's funny is that you think it's normal.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, Steven says clearly Steven's not going to be honest tonight. But so we tell.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Here's my justification, Steven. I'm sure you'll understand and agree. Saltwater cleans you. So you just kind of, all good.
No,
he agrees.
No.
All right, we're all in. We told this story, and Tom's wife's friend's daughter is there. She's, 12, 13 at the time?
Yeah.
And she's like, I took a shit at the beach once. And we're like, let's go back downstairs, put her on the podcast, have her tell the story.
Yeah, it was a wild scene.
There's no way I shit as much as some of the mammals. And think about a whale dropping a deuce. My shit's nowhere near whale shit.
No, very small whale.
Yeah.
Very small whale.
I am a very small
like
whale.
A baby whale, yeah. You're like a baby whale.
So
in the ocean, you're right sized.
That's what I fit in. Makes me feel small. Like that Leanne Rimes song. I don't know if it was Leanne Rimes.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, but yeah. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside
Yeah, I do.
Who was that? I hope you dance.
Is that Sarah Kroll? Or
I don't know. Pat's gonna Google it.
Siri, who did the song "I Hope You Dance"?
Pat's not gonna Google it. Siri's gonna look it up for him.
Yeah. Well, there's no. Pat's so lazy can't type.
Tommy, what have you been up to? We haven't talked since we talked about Afghanistan.
Same old stuff, man. Just doing the podcast, working. My son started football.
Any good Trump rallies lately?
What's that?
Any good Trump rallies lately?
No, I haven't been to any Trump rallies.
Leanne Womack.
That's it.
I was so close. I got Leanne.
No Trump rallies. Yeah, just kind of just doing my thing, you know? Nothing really new.
What'd you do for Erica's birthday? Where'd you guys go?
Fuji. We went to Fuji. Hibachi.
Hibachi.
Hibachi, yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
That's that shit.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you get the noodles?
No. But see,
rice?
I messed up, right? I messed up because I didn't realize that if you didn't ask for vegetables, you can get double rice. And I'm not a big vegetable guy, clearly.
But you are a big guy.
That's right. So I could have definitely gotten down on double rice. So I fucked up.
Especially, dude, hibachi rice. I could eat hibachi rice 3 times a day, and as the whole meal.
Yeah. I don't eat rice at all.
Again, that's why you look the way you look, and we look the way we look.
100% of the time, noodles over rice.
I look at rice the same way I look at grapes, and like each little grain or each little grape is a new opportunity. Like, don't go have an apple. You get a bad apple, your whole snack is ruined. But if you get a bunch of grapes, you get a bad one, you just move on to the next opportunity. And I think that's how rice works for me as well.
That's a unique way to look at it.
So we had this conversation very recently on the podcast.
How disgusting!
I will not eat Chinese noodles because of the Lost Boys, and he's never seen the movie.
What about the maggots?
Apparently, I'm okay with maggots, not okay with worms. I once.
They're like the same thing. Maggots are tiny little worms.
I once ate maggots. They were in corn pops when we lived at Archer Court.
Oh, we all once ate maggots. They were in a Crunch Bar.
I've twice eaten maggots.
We were coming from the junior market, and Ma got us Crunch Bars, and as we start cracking these things open and get into them, and I think it was Michael that first noticed it. He kind of looked down. And he's like, "I think there's worms in this." And Ma, like, immediately, because Michael's got her stomach, right? Ma's like, she didn't even pull the car over fast enough. Yeah,
that's gross.
I was eating a bowl of corn pops, and I was like, Mom, the corn pops are moving. And I just started puking everywhere. She's like, that's maggots. I was like,
jeez.
But I also don't eat corn pops. I don't eat Chinese noodles.
You haven't seen The Lost Boys, Tom. Let's spend some time on that.
Dude, we don't have
How bad was your childhood? It was because you spent so much time in the Police Explorers. You just didn't have time for The Lost Boys.
It's back.
This fucking guy.
I sent you pictures of the sash.
You did.
It was so nice.
It was awesome.
So
I actually it was like historically accurate.
It could have been. I don't know.
It was at least good enough for an episode of Drunk History. Maybe not the History Channel.
Yeah.
Jesus. I actually got a new movie recommendation from my aunt. She thinks that I haven't watched the movie, but
He said, "Tell us about the end of it."
I haven't watched it yet, but it's called Shock and Awe. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure if it's a movie. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a movie.
The first Gulf War.
I believe so. Yes. So I'm not sure if it's more of a documentary or if it's an actual movie. But she said it was actually really good, so I might watch that soon. Depending on what happens.
It's about the American Air Force. Of course it's good. We're fucking awesome.
I couldn't agree more. You're almost as cool as Marines. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Pat, you want to get into some of these memes?
Oh, it's definitely not a documentary. It's got Woody Harrelson.
Oh, so it's a movie.
Is that Tommy Lee Jones that I see all the way on the right?
Yeah, but who cares? It's got Woody Harrelson. He's fucking mint.
That's true.
I love Woody Harrelson.
Pat, you want to do some of these memes?
I'm done with the memes. Let's do it.
Can you see this? Or do I need?
Are you gonna read it? I mean, not everybody's watching on YouTube.
I didn't know if Tommy
was going to read them. You just got dead air sitting there.
Sometimes Tommy reads them. So this is a meme. It's actually a full-fledged joke. Patty and Mary decide to try a 69. Patty's never done one before, so Mary says she'll show him. She tells him to lie on the floor and squats over him. As she lowers herself onto his face, she farts and apologizes. Then she tries again, but she farts again. Patty jumps up and storms out, yelling, "I'll be fucked if I'm going to hang around for 67 more of them." So true.
Pretty good.
This is legit, man. This is a meme. It's
So you read the regular parts and anything in quotes. I've got that.
okay.
All right.
Good. In Denmark, there are libraries where you can go borrow a person instead of a book to listen to their life story for 30 minutes. The goal is to fight prejudice. Each person has a title.
Unemployed, refugee, bipolar,
and etc. But listening to their story, you realize just how much you shouldn't.
Judge a book by its cover.
This innovative project is active in 85 plus countries. It is called the Human Library. Dude, how interesting would it be to go steal somebody for 30 minutes and hear about their life?
I think it's a great idea. I don't think I would do it because let's face it, I don't have 30 minutes and I normally don't read books, so I wouldn't be in a library. But I think this is phenomenal. I love hearing like Old Man Clutch, right? When he tells a story about something that happened to him when he was younger or when he was in the army. I love hearing that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Old Man Clutch is a black guy raised in the South. So he's got some really, really interesting stories to tell.
Yeah, no doubt.
As well as he joined the army when he was young. So, like, the stories just get better from there.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. What we got here?
Tom, this is a real thing. This is trending now in the Mormon community. It says some Mormon teens have convinced themselves that putting a penis in a vagina and then not moving is not sex. That is called soaking. Also, jump pumping is when you get someone to jump on the bed next to you while you're soaking to get some friction going without you technically causing the movement.
That's fucking awesome.
The Mormons have become the dumbest of all the religions immediately in my eyes, at least the Mormon teens. Do they not figure, like, we'll call it from tip to base plate, right? That is sex. You know, like if you could just be in the vagina, I can see where your argument is. But if you've got to push it all the way in, then you've already had the sex.
So just the tip is your argument?
No, anything beyond the tip, because once you've pushed the tip in, once you're beyond tip,
why does the definition of sex have to revolve around male genitalia? What is it for female genitalia then?
On a special occasion?
Like, I feel like you're only worried about a penis.
Well, in this particular case, they're not talking about two girls crotch to crotch, just holding the scissor position with somebody else jumping up and down.
You read a story about sex and then immediately talked about penis for the next 2 minutes.
I referenced the story at hand.
I see where this is going.
The signs are there.
More Freudian slips from Patrick. This is actually a news article, though I did not take the time to read it because it's funny without reading it.
It's obviously from either the UK.
It's UK.
Is it? Don't say, or Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah. So this title of this news article was "Mums Unite to Make Porn They're Happy for Their Kids to Watch," which is the greatest headline that we've covered on the show.
Is there an airplane flying into your house?
HH-60 Seahawk. It's the Navy's variant of the UH-60 platform that the Army flies as the Black Hawk and the Air Force flies as the Pave Hawk.
Steven says that is the sound of freedom.
Damn right it is.
I like it.
I sat out at Virginia Beach the other day. We were having lunch, and this motherfucker whined every time an F-18 flew overhead. And finally I told him, you should just say thank you.
The jets are so loud, bro.
They weren't even loud.
My parents live right next to Langley. My parents live like within 3 miles of Langley, so they get that all the time at their house. Yeah, all the time.
That's Navy. Langley's Air Force.
I thought the Blue Angels are Air Force.
Oh my God.
Jeez, what are you gonna do with this kid?
The Thunderbirds are Air Force.
That does explain why Dad always brought us to see the Blue Angels and was a Marine, which is part of the Navy.
Yes.
A lot of logic there.
The Marine Corps is Department of the Navy.
According
to the Marines, it's the men's department.
That's great. Tommy, I wanted to go through these. These are the idea here is these are Victorian slang that we no longer use that are sorely missed.
Who's Adam And is he the only authority on whether or not these are sorely missed?
Well, I've read them, and I second his emotion.
Okay, so Adam and Patrick say these are sorely missed.
I think you're going to like them.
Other people just say they are Victorian slang.
I'm almost positive that you use number 7 on the regular. Am I incorrect about that?
I definitely know.
You've never used that term?
No.
Weird. I don't know why I felt like you had said that.
I don't drink tea.
Well, that's true. It could probably also.
I like my coffee black and my tea in the harbor. We've done this before on the show.
I like my coffee like I like my women. I don't like coffee.
Hence why he talked about his penis for 2 minutes after the sex meeting.
Oh man.
Sorely missed Victoria. Number 8. Giggle mug. Always smiling.
Giggle mug means you're always smiling, and there's a lot of giggle mugs that we know and love.
That would make sense too, right?
Yeah.
Your mug.
Yeah, your mug.
Your mug. Yeah.
Number 7, to bitch the pot, which means pour tea, or I think coffee also. Bitch the pot, and I think
no. If it's Victorian, it's English. It's definitely not coffee. It's tea.
You don't think?
We can't just change the definition of it.
Why not? So how do we Americanize it? Let's Americanize.
Now we're Americanizing things.
On the fly?
Puss the pot? Right, like a pussy's a bitch.
I don't know, Pat. Just read it. I'll take number 6. But no, I would never say pour the tea. Spill the tea. I'd say that to the kids because that's like the kids always say that. That's like, tell me the gossip. Spill the tea.
Do they?
Yeah. That's a young.
Tom, can you confirm that from Colin?
I've never heard that. He's asleep, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Spill the tea.
Yeah, so I say that to the kids just to mess with them.
You're gonna see me be real youthful
because I'm the cool dad that knows their slang, right?
I got you.
Kira said something happened in school, and I'm like, "What, dead ass?" And she just rolls her eyes.
Spill the tea, son.
That's a cat, bro.
Got the morbs, which is a temporary sadness.
I like that one too.
I like that. Yeah, it's like morbs, morbid.
You're in a morbid place right now.
I'm not in a happy place.
This one I'm not sure I fully understand, but tight as a boiled owl is to be drunk. The only thing I can think of is that they're juicy, like boiled, like they have water in their system, so they're retaining fluid. I don't know, and like.
But you don't. You put fluid off when you cook, especially boiling. Like you ever had boiled chicken? It's dry as shit.
Maybe that's where I go wrong. I do feel like my chicken always comes out dry, and I definitely always boil
it.
You boil chicken?
Do you really?
I boil pretty much anything before I cook it.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yo, this motherfucker.
Oh, here we go.
He tried to get me to let him make dinner the other night, and now I'm glad I said no.
One time, I boiled for okay, this is what happened. I had bratwurst, full-on bratwurst, frozen, and I brought the water to a boil. I did not boil them.
Frozen sausage in there.
No. I put them in and then brought it to a boil. It was like, yo, Tommy, throw these on the grill. They're ready to cook. Well, then we ate raw bratwurst for dinner.
Because he said
Tommy, he technically had them last.
That is factual.
No, because he didn't say I brought them to a boil. He said I boiled them before I brought them, so I just let them be heated up. So I threw them on the grill quick, heated them up, and then I'm eating one, and I'm like, this is awfully pink. He's like, oh, it's fine. And then halfway through he's like, I'm going to go throw this in the microwave. Meanwhile, I had already eaten mine. So, bad news.
Were you eating in the dark? You didn't see that pink...
I did, and he was like, it's fine, don't worry about it.
I love medium rare pork.
Yeah.
And pork byproduct. All right, number 4, poked up. It's embarrassed.
That makes sense to me too.
You'd be embarrassed if you got poked?
Well, no, but like if you poke something, it's going to get red and irritated, or if you're embarrassed, your face will turn red. That's
your
where I'm
face is always red.
Well,
ginger.
Yeah. How? Number 3. Oh, hey, man. We went to an antique mall today, Tom.
I was going to tell that story. Yeah, go ahead. This motherfucker, like 80 years old, spent 3.5 hours in an antique store.
Dude, Tom, you got to understand. First off, this is the biggest toy store in the state of Virginia. They have every toy you played with as a child.
They really do.
But they have 6 of it.
And your parents played with as children.
Bro, it's so fucking cool. I was going to say, They have so much Washington Redskins memorabilia, which now obviously is out of date.
The football team.
Yeah, so I really was like, we should probably pick some of these things up for the sake of, sentimental value more than actual dollars and cents. They also had, do you remember the Big Boss Man, Tommy? Do you remember?
A wrestler.
He was a wrestler.
What was his thing, though?
He was a cop.
That's right. He was a
So
cop.
the Big Boss Man had a blue top, black pants, yellow stripes. He was a good guy. He had a fucking rebel flag on his right arm. There's a wrestling buddy at this fucking place. $130, and I almost bought it. Because I was like, dude, you'll never see that shit again. Fucking crazy.
What,
I should have bought it.
Cop with a Confederate flag?
I mean, world known.
I feel like if you drive a half an hour south of here, and then anywhere between that and Miami, you can find it at will.
You'll see the Confederate flag just above the American flag. Number 3, a sauce box, which is your mouth.
Yeah, I did last one. Oh.
Yeah.
That one is raunchy.
I think with Tommy, that one's self-explanatory.
I'll get it.
Baby sauce in your mouth.
Because you take baby showers to the face.
Okay.
All right.
Only one of us has had a
Number
penis
2.
put in our mouth, and it was you. So
It was one penis, and she was beautiful.
Number 2, Cupid's kettle drums. Breasts.
nice.
Or testicles.
I like that one.
I
I feel like I get a lot of trouble if I try to play the drums on those things, though. I mean, even a rough pinch gets me in a world of hurt.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Cupid's kettle drums.
I think that's gonna be the name of the show.
Yeah. Charlie Uniform Papa India Delta apostrophe Sierra space Kilo Echo Tango Tango Lima Echo space Delta Romeo Uniform Mike Sierra.
I do know how to spell. Think so.
I'm just making sure.
Are you being open and honest on the podcast, Tom?
Listen, there's autocorrect for a reason.
I do know how to spell. There's autocorrect.
Why is Dick crossed out on the last one?
I don't think that's Dick.
I think that's his.
I'm pretty sure that's Dick.
I think that's DIOL, and then there's more coming.
I don't think there is.
On the other hand, if it's Dick and there's more coming. Number 1, not up to or unwell. We still use that. That's not, I mean, it may be Victorian in its origination, but we still use that all the time. Is Stephen coming to the party? No, he's not up to it. He's, for whatever reason, you're not coming.
Yeah.
So we still use that one.
It's valid.
Anyways, I saw those, Tom. I was going to make a game.
But that also makes me question Adam's real grasp of the subject and his authentic, expertise.
In making that number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we really miss that? We still use it. How much can you miss it if it's still in regular use?
True story. I was going to add a 9th one, Tom. I was going to make up my own English slang and make a game. But I know how frustrated you get at the game, so I just included them as a meme.
I don't get upset about games. I love games.
I've made some of the games, if we'll just pick an animal like dolphin. It could be a herd, it could be a pod. It has multiple names, like it could be a school. Mm-hmm. So I picked the hardest one, and then I have Tom match animal families with what a group of them is known as.
My favorite is a group of crows.
A murder.
A murder.
Yeah, we play the shit out of this.
That
game.
is awesome.
But see, what he's leaving out is that some of these have multiple meanings within the ones that he's picked. So, you're wrong the Pat's definition, but you may actually be right.
No. I didn't ever use a pack of dogs and a pack of wolves.
Well, that wouldn't be too obvious. Yeah. But yes, you did. That was why I was upset.
This is not true. It's not factual. Fake news.
There was somebody else on the show that said this. Who was it? Dobis. Dobis said the same exact fucking thing I said.
It's not the first time that both of you went wrong about something.
Okay. Yeah, you as a friend was number 1.
The lighting in this room makes both of us look very pale.
Do you want to turn off the big light and just have the lamp? Will the camera adjust for that?
Ooh,
it's a little spooky-ish.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it looks good. If you guys had some neon lights back there, it'd be mint.
Oh, you should see this fucking place. He's got neon lights behind his TV. Then we watched a horror
They're
movie.
not neon. They're LED.
What's the difference?
Yeah, you get it, man. I have
The
LEDs.
light itself looks neon.
You don't feel like that's too dark? I'm fine. If you're fine, I'm fine.
All right, Pat, hold on 1 second.
You got a cricket out there?
You can go and read everything that Erica said in the chat.
He is working them legs, man.
Tom, are we off right now?
Yeah, we're not. We're not recording for the podcast.
So this little kid lives on a farm. He comes downstairs for breakfast. And his mom's like, "You can't have breakfast until you do your chores." He's like, "God damn it!" So he goes outside. He feeds the chickens, and he just kicks one because he's pissed off. He goes over, feeds the pigs. He just kicks one because he's pissed off. He feeds the cows. He just kicks one because he's pissed off. He comes in. There's just dry cereal in a bowl. He's like, "Mom, what the hell? What? No eggs, no bacon? I don't even have milk in my cereal." And she's like, "No, when you were outside, I saw you kick a chicken, no eggs for a week. I saw you kick a pig, no bacon for a week. I saw you kick a cow, no milk for a week. Enjoy your dry cereal." Just then his dad comes in from upstairs. He's getting ready for work. Cat's in his way. He kicks the cat. And the kid looks at his mom and he goes, "You gonna tell him or am I?"
That's pretty good.
All right, I'm ready when you guys are. Ready? We got you got the timeline up?
The latest subscriber and the most recent donations.
Oh, Erica gave you all $1.
$1, yeah.
Yeah, that was more of a test.
Also,
Those are
Edward,
old as shit.
Or Enigma.
Give
What's
us
that?
333.
Woo!
Yeah.
Mom and Pop Washington going big.
Oh yeah.
That was for
I
Christmas
like
last
it.
year.
You can get 10 more harmonicas.
You're damn right.
I
did
ready?
not bring the harmonicas to Virginia, but I do fully intend. I was talking to Steven's wife. We are going to play some of these games while we're here in Virginia. Probably the blindfold water bottle swinging game.
She loves that one.
It's going to be a good time.
The thing, though, is she loves to see other people play that one.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's going to love to play.
I think me and Steven are going to play.
Oh, you and I.
No.
Because you're talking about me like I'm not here. Oh, my son.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got no, I don't mind someone else getting hit in the face. I love it.
It'll be a good time.
Even if it's my own flesh and blood.
You ready for, you got the timeline pulled up?
I do. I'm on the
Merrick.
Merck said research shows its COVID-19 pill works against variants.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, Pat, it's time for Three Finger News. What do you got for us?
Three Finger News. News that's sure to shock you. That's right. I came up with that.
You should do that forwards. If you do it like that, then they can't see any fingers.
I was doing it for you, so you can see.
Cool.
This is the company Merck, the drug company Merck, says research shows that its COVID-19 pill works against variants. The laboratory study shown that Merck and Company's experimental oral COVID-19 antiviral drug Molnupiravir, yeah, there you go, is likely to be effective against known variants of the coronavirus, including the dominant, highly transmissible Delta, the company said on Wednesday. This is big news because, they can fit more microchips to track us in these little pills than they can in the liquid that they're shooting into our arms for all the conspiracy theorists. I believe they can probably put those little, the little dinosaurs that you put in a capsule and you put them in the bathtub and they expand. So they can also implant little foam animals into us. They can do all kinds of stuff with pills.
So to your point, Pat, and I don't really want to get into this debate too much, but I saw a meme the other day and I should have sent it in, and it was basically, and again, I didn't have time to because you can't believe everything you see on the internet, and a lot of these memes, people just write shit down and it's not factual. Yeah. But it had logic to it, and that's why I liked it. Like my point to you with the whole vaccine and all that stuff, and just so everybody knows I am vaccinated, but they say to trust the science, that the science is real. But the science changes on the daily.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we trust it today, but then in 10 years, it really wasn't like that. It was something different. You know what I mean?
That's true. But we trust it today, hoping we survive for the next 10 years.
Yeah, hoping. Fingers crossed. Trust it.
I mean, there's a lot of science behind that automobile that you drive. You trust that?
Yeah. I'm not.
There's also a lot of profit behind that automobile that would deter them from using the proper science.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of
vaccine. I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of profit in the vaccine,
and it's guaranteed profit, right? Because that was part of the emergency. Yeah, you can't sue us for malpractice or anything else.
Yeah,
government here buy 100,000 doses.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, every time we have this conversation, I always say the same thing. I just go with what I feel is the best odds, right? It's at this point, it's a gamble. Me getting sick is a gamble. Me staying healthy due to a shot that I know nothing about is also a gamble. So I take what I find to be the safest gamble.
Okay.
I went with the odds. I when I retired from the military, they gave me a copy of my shot records, and there was probably as many pages as the average person's medical records.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it hasn't killed me yet, so fuck it. What's 2 more shots?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a fair way to look at
the COVID virus, the little spore. And it's like COVID in a veteran's body, and it's got like this crazy face, and it's like, bitch, how do you live in here? Yeah.
Many moons ago, there was a meme. It was a Facebook post. The guy listed all these chemicals, the compounds, and he said, "You expect me to inject this in my body to stay away from this virus? You're out of your mind." And everybody's just like, "Absolutely, they're ridiculous." And the guy at the end of it is like, Those are the chemical components of an apple. You're all fucking idiots. Like you don't know what you're putting in your body either way. This was just an apple.
Yeah, but it was like brought down to the molecular level, right?
Yeah. But his point was like,
apple also was just grows in nature.
No, but his point was you don't know what's in an apple.
Do not just grow in nature.
Well, they come from somewhere.
They come from somewhere, he said.
The humans that are making them came naturally.
Jesus. All right, what we got next?
Oh, man, we got all kinds of chatter on the feed, and nobody said a single word.
Adam ruins everything. That's actually a pretty fun show. I've seen a few episodes of it, except for Sausage. We're that far behind that someone... Okay.
Yeah, we are way back. Sorry, Erica.
Look at that. Oh, look. Tommy's threads in military time, as you call it.
Yeah, that's fucking military.
Or is it just a 24-hour clock?
It's both. Both military time and a 24-hour clock. This motherfucker has every one of his 24-hour clocks set for 24 hours instead of 12. We're running 2 a days here. 2 a days.
Pat doesn't like that because he can't figure it out.
It's not difficult.
I mean, my father's used it my entire life. It's not difficult.
He still spells... Well, I mean, I haven't gotten a letter from him since like 2012.
Yes, he still puts the number first.
No, but he spells my name wrong.
What?
Yeah.
How?
How do you
miss... with a V.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. So my father named me after one of his Marine buddies, right? This guy, Steve Jordan. His last name was Jordan. My middle name is Jordan.
Right.
So in an act of honor, Steve Jordan was injured. And in an act of honor to his friend, my father named me after his buddy, Steve Jordan. He was super excited. He's super proud of this. He takes the birth certificate to Steve Jordan's house after they have it. He's like, look, I named my son after you. And he looks at it and he goes, oh, I spelled my name with a PH. So he has to go back and change my birth certificate to be spelled like Steve Jordan's name.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And still fucking spells it wrong. Like, you had to put effort into the PH, and you still spell it wrong. You are that checked out as a parent.
Dude, he really is just like the Rocky Balboa of real life. He's so fucking punchy.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right.
What we got next?
Hey, you know what? Say what you will about China's politics, but that man's got some great fucking hair.
He does have a nice head of hair.
I mean,
is that real?
Thick. It's lustrous. His hairline looks like it was right there when he was born. He hasn't lost a hair.
No.
No.
It's good. Tom, this story is titled, I titled it Home Field Advantage. I don't know if you caught that. But the premise of the story is no one outside of China will be allowed to attend the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing. The International Olympic Committee said on Wednesday that the only people allowed to attend the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing, China, are those who live in China. Tickets will be sold exclusively.
I'm reading the quotes.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Tickets will be sold exclusively to spectators residing in China's mainland who meet the requirements of the COVID-19 countermeasures.
The IOC said.
Specific requirements on COVID-19 countermeasures for spectators from China's mainland and the details of ticketing arrangements are under discussion and development and will be released to the public in due course once they are finalized.
Real talk. This is the greatest home field advantage we've ever seen in sports history.
We not only will keep you guys out, we will determine what allows our own people in. You show up wearing some Japan shit,
you're out.
Done.
Yeah. You're going to that concentration camp with the rest of them. Show up wearing Japan shit.
Or they'll just imprison them and sell their organs.
Yeah. Tommy, I watched Steven's TED Talk. Not Steven's, but it's called David and David, or Two Davids versus Goliath. And it's about the, I'm going to get the name wrong.
Organ tourist market.
Of the Falun Gong.
Falun Gong, yeah.
Dude.
This is This is about the Buddhists, right? That they're trying. Yeah.
Dude, it's unreal. The thing starts off and it's like, in order to get the number of organs that they're transplanting, you would have to have like X amount of people. And they're like, where'd you get those people? And the Chinese government's like, oh, from dead people. And they're like, you don't have that many dead people. And they're like, well, from prisoners. And they're like, you don't have that many prisoners. And they're like, we're not giving you any more numbers. And you're just like, wait, what? Dude, it's so fucked. The whole thing is insane how unethical and just crazy. They have a survivor from the thing. They just kind of blood test anybody who's in trouble. They blood test anybody who's in like a group. They blood test people walking down the street. They just blood test the shit out of people. And what they're looking for is not just the blood type match, but also the tissue type match. And they have like a monetary representation of how much each organ is worth in China, and they're making billions off of harvesting these organs. And they're basically saying that it's a voluntary program, and there are not motherfuckers signing up for this, but it is running quite healthily.
I like it.
And it's not like people don't know about it. You know, in the TED Talk, they're showing video clips of
tons of
the
people.
EU talking about it, our own Congress talking about it. Why this isn't actually in the news and citizens at large talking about it baffles me.
And the EU is like, we've done everything we can here. This is the step we took. We wrote them a harshly worded letter. They didn't say it that way, but that is exactly what they did.
We put these guys on blast and we signed it.
Yeah. It's fun.
So, like, what can you do, though? You know what I mean?
So that's actually how the TED Talk wraps up. They say that there are three things that the average person can do, which is one,
don't go to China.
Well,
for sure. Especially not for the Winter Olympics in 2022.
Yeah.
They won't let you go to any of the sports anyways if you're wasting your money.
No,
Google organ harvesting in China.
Yeah, number one, Google organ harvesting in China. Step two, tell your friends. Tell everybody that it exists. And step three, get on social media and just spread the word there. Like, this is a thing, this happens, and if enough people are talking about it, then, all of these decisions follow the money, right? So if everybody's talking about it, then there's your money, and stopping it becomes the right thing to do instead of
Googling it becomes important because of China's cyber laws. They filter their internet.
Yeah.
Much like North Korea, right? And so the more you Google it, the more Google's web crawlers keep it in the top of the search results. They keep like legitimate articles and stuff in the top of the results. And so Chinese students somewhere, for school, or a Chinese family on vacation, someone gets outside of, China's IP space, and it makes it more likely that they'll see the truth of what's going on in their country.
So, talk about conspiracy theorists, but I mean, I don't really trust what's going on here. So, I mean, if we bring this to light, what says that we're not going to start doing that shit?
Like, why are we not going to start harvesting organs for profit?
Yeah.
Are you saying do we have some kind of check and balance in place for that?
Well, I'm saying like China's a trendsetter, so we might fall in line and start doing that here.
I would love to say that that's not realistic or possible, but I don't know that that's not realistic or possible.
I'm just saying, like,
is that realistic or possible?
We've got enough problems in our judicial system. What makes you, for 1 second, makes you think we could organize something well enough to do this?
That's a good point.
We can't even figure out, like, innocent, guilty, due process of law.
what's what I'm saying?
Face your accuser.
Like, I'm not saying at like a government level. I'm saying more so at like Pat decides he's going to start harvesting these organs on the black market and burying bodies in his basement. Like, crazy.
We definitely have people who harvest organs in America on an individual basis. There's no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're buried in basements or in barrels. First off, if you saw the numbers on these things, I will gladly give up a kidney for the fucking value that it holds. I'll give up a quarter of my liver. I would consider one of my eyes at the ridiculous, it's $30,000 for cornea. I've got two.
Yeah, 30,000 is not worth my eye.
$60,000, bro. You can use more.
Big fucking money to use a cane for the rest of my life. Whatever.
To play piano, you can good to go.
I'm pretty sure I develop
How much is a kidney?
Superpower if I lose my sight.
How much is a kidney?
130 grand.
130. Yeah, I think the pancreas was 130 to 160.
Tim, I'll give you both.
You do if you have pancreatic cancer.
Well, no, then I'd really want to get rid of it.
Right, but you can put a new one in.
That's true.
And it'd be a healthy one because these people are organic, vegetarian.
Yeah, these are like the cream of the crop.
They practice Tai Chi. The tissue's nice and oxygenated from the meditation.
The creme de la creme. One of the problems that they ran into was that a ton of prisoners over there, because of their harvesting prisoner organs, then they got to be healthy, and there's a wicked outbreak of hepatitis B, so they can't even be using the prisoners like they're saying. To the number, I believe it was 60% of Chinese prisoners have hepatitis B, so all of those are not valid donors. Like, you can't take somebody with hepatitis and throw it into another body.
Why don't we just bring in the Hep B fucking vaccine?
We don't use vaccines, Tom. We talked about this. We don't take COVID vaccines. We don't use Hep B vaccines.
I have both those. I'm just saying, a simple vaccine.
Yeah, so then it would be a good. Then most Americans would be okay, just not if you're from Oregon.
Oh, I thought you meant there was a big Hep B outbreak in Oregon. The other thing that they do that kind of would prevent America from doing it, their prisoners, when they're sentenced to death, it's 7 days. Like, if you get sentenced on Monday, come the next Tuesday, you will not be around anymore. There is no retrials. There is no, let's give this another shot in the interest of everybody. They got 7 days. So that's also how they keep the donor list very accurate. Like, who's coming in the next 7 days. They just got sentenced to death. So if I need a heart, just find me a heart of somebody who's going to die in the next 7 days, right? The problem there becomes they're executing people at alarmingly high rates.
And the only reason these people are in prisons, they call it crimes of conscience. They've been rounded up in a political protest. These are political prisoners. They're not criminals.
And they're being put to death?
Yes.
In 7 days.
After I got a lung, a heart, a liver, a kidney, whatever I needed. Yeah, there it is, the big exhale.
hold on, man. So
about like cybercrime, because Pat was asking about like what I do and you know how does this work and how does that work and why don't we like why isn't there international law that dictates these things and a lot of cyber rules and regulations and what you think you can and can't do in someone else's IP space is based on cultural norms.
Yeah.
Right. And so for the Chinese, like they don't question it. Like, oh, you did something against the government, they're going to kill you in 7 days. Like what happens in those 7 days just doesn't come into question. It's just normal that the government would take you out. That's shocking and terrifying.
You should also see the number of these. Falun
Gong?
Falun Gong. There's not a small number of these motherfuckers. This isn't like the local, small group of people got together and the government's like, nah, we can't have that. This is like the Democratic Party or the Republican, but this is a lot of fucking people. But like Stephen was saying, apples to apples, it's not a lot of people in China, but they are alarmingly high numbers for what we see.
Percentages, right? Talking 40 to 60 million people in China is like talking about, 100 to 150,000 here.
Yeah.
And it is 70 million Falun Gong.
So here's what's
like
surprising. Yeah, Rhode Island. Just whoop. What's surprising
if
to me.
Gone, would anybody care?
What's surprising to me in all this, right, is, and I think we touched on this a little bit the last time you were on, is that people are like, what's happening in Afghanistan is a humanitarian crisis, and we should do something. But they're not talking about this, where millions and millions of people are affected by it, and we're not going over there and saying, "Hey, cut the shit."
Follow the money.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that literally about anything going on right now, other than maybe the pandemic, which is worldwide. You could say it about any problem. Like we had every headline in America was about the gas pedals with Toyota, or about fucking Gabby Petito, but none of them are about the Falun Gong.
Is that the little girl from Florida that her fiance so obviously killed her?
Allegedly.
Sorry.
It's allegedly. He hasn't been convicted of any crimes.
That's correct.
Yo, did you see that Dog the Bounty Hunter? Now, I'm looking at the clock here. I'm going to say Dog the Bounty Hunter about 9 hours ago said he is positive that Brian is still alive and that he will have him in custody within an hour. Now, when I read that, it said this article is 5 hours old, and they still had not gotten him. So I'm not sure how accurate Dog's timeline was.
Isn't he in Hawaii?
Dog the Bounty Hunter went to Florida and was deputized or whatever, just to find this mother. They got the TV cop to go find this guy. It's so cool. It's so great. Next, Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger, coming down.
Yeah,
Brian's getting his ass kicked to the past.
It's not exactly a defense of the great men and women behind the shield in Florida.
Yo, I think this motherfucker.
They're like, somebody get Dog the Bounty Hunter on the phone.
Yo, I think
called Joe Exotic. We'll hunt his ass.
George Zimmerman also thought he was a police officer in Florida.
I think this kid's alive, and I think he's out. I think they have no idea where he went.
If he was smart, he wouldn't be in Florida.
Yeah.
But when I was in Afghanistan, there was an officer that deserted back at Shaw.
Yeah.
And I went back. I had sent him a really, really strong email about a project that was going on and about how bad he was fucking up.
Okay.
And so I went back and checked that. Like, did I tell him you should run away? I checked myself when I found out that this dude had disappeared.
You'd be better off.
He had an entire week of scheduled leave, and then 3 weeks later had still not shown up. So they went and they found him.
That's genius. So he had the time to get away.
He had time to get away. They found him living in some little shack by a stream in Georgia. Now, for those of you that are not geography buffs, Shaw Air Force Base is in South Carolina. They found him in Georgia, and he had a week that nobody was even looking for him. How the fuck did you not make it to some sunny, tropical, non-extradition country
He walked as far as he could.
an entire week? Like, come on, dude. Like, you just deserve it. Whatever.
Yeah, why didn't you get on a plane and take off?
Well, especially because you're living in
In
poverty.
Georgia? That was your goal?
Yeah.
Well, and you're going to live in poverty because you can't go get a normal job. So why wouldn't you fly somewhere very tropical and exotic, like you're saying,
And just
ride it out? Like,
yeah.
if you're going to live poor, you might as well live happy and poor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
you guys
that's the
want to do
level of
some?
intelligence we're dealing with this guy who allegedly killed that little girl.
Yeah, it's. I think he might have killed her, but I like Pat's point of view on it that it was probably in self-defense.
Dude, have you seen the body cam footage from the police? This girl was not innocent in all of this. She's a fucking maniac. The police pulled
It's Florida. What did you expect?
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair. How Floridian is that? We're trying to make a segment called How Floridian is that?
Just all kinds of human dysfunction.
Dude, it's unreal.
And you just follow at the end of the statement with how Floridian is that?
We did a whole thing on accidental death and dismemberment insurance. You're familiar with that? You know,
I've heard of
you
it.
lose a finger, you get 30 grand from Aflac.
Aflac.
Yeah, you get like my little stitches there, like 16 grand. So they had to stop writing accidental death and dismemberment policies in Florida because motherfuckers were just running out to like the swamp and like boom, blasting specifically their left feet so they could still drive and just buying like Cadillacs. And the insurance companies.
Because a Cadillac is worth having one foot.
Dude, insurance companies got together and they're like, no more Florida. Like, these people are fucking insane.
And then you watch presidential elections and how important is Florida?
Yeah.
How fucking scary is that for the health of our republic?
The difference between Bush and Gore was Floridians going, wait, how's it work?
Yeah. A state full of people that would shoot off their left foot so they can still drive their Cadillac they buy with health insurance is a swing state.
I use that exact specific example because the story that I was reading, the sheriff gets a call as he's being interviewed about all of this, and the call is that there was a hunting accident, and the sheriff went, that was this guy, and I guarantee you it was an accidental gunshot, and I guarantee it was his left foot. And the woman said, there's no way that you could know all that. And he said, and I guarantee you in a couple weeks he'll be driving a Cadillac. And he was right. It was the guy that he was talking about. He had just written a policy. He had just gotten a policy for accidental death and dismemberment. And sure enough, it was a gunshot wound to the left foot. And the person writing the article was like, this is out of control. I love it.
I did too, man. Good for them. Yeah.
Right, it's free choice, right? Like, I have this policy, I'm willing to do this. Like, balls up. They should make a reality show about it. If you're gonna do it, put it on TV.
Oh, people will watch it. If they'll watch the Kardashians,
I would
they'll
watch the
that.
shit out of that.
Yeah.
No special effects, only high def cameras.
Only high def cameras.
Or
Yeah.
you could just go hunting with Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Get shot in the face.
Tommy and I watched this dude. He's playing Russian roulette, real life Russian roulette, foot for foot. It's in the hood, like straight up in the hood, in the street. And his right foot is bandaged because he just lost a round, went to the hospital, got out. And the fucking dude shoots. It's the sixth round. It's the sixth shot. So there's only one thing that could go here. And he shoots
I ain't
him.
no punk.
He shoots him in the other foot and it just squirts up blood. Like, oh, God.
Fucking stupid.
Do you remember that video?
Yes.
That shit was
Yes,
so good.
vividly. All right, guys, we're running kind of long here, so I don't know if you guys want to do football or not.
No, we can skip football. I don't know how important it will be. I will say there are some really tough picks this week.
I mean,
There's
my
some teams
picks.
that you were like at least I was sleeping on that have surprised, and there's some teams that I thought were going to be steadier by the third week of the season.
Who's your biggest surprise this season?
Man, maybe the Rams.
Yeah, I think the
They're so
Rams.
fucking good.
Matt
Yeah.
Stafford is worth every I feel bad for Matt Stafford that he wasn't with a better team 10 years ago.
Right?
Yeah, he got
we
fucked, man.
pitched this as if it was another college quarterback bust in the NFL, and it turns out the Lions were just that fucking bad.
He's
But
balling
we
out,
gotta
and then
kind of understand that a quarterback needs the system needs the right players, and if this is the system that works for him, then at least he found it.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, but at the same time, like the Lions had years and years and years, and the only time he ever balled out was the only time he had a decent receiver in Calvin Johnson. You know what I mean? Ever since
But he
Calvin
had it for a
Johnson,
while.
yeah, but his first 5 years
It's
of
not like Megatron played for a season.
no, but Stafford's first 5 years, except for his back injury, he had really good numbers, consistent numbers, and then they lose that, and then they're like, oh, he lost it with his back injury and blah blah blah, and now he's down in L.A. slinging it like no tomorrow.
Tommy, not that I need you to give us all your picks. Do you think the Panthers win with no McCaffrey?
Yeah,
Do you think they can win this?
yeah, I think they can win without him. Who are they playing?
I don't know, somebody top tier. It might
Yeah.
actually be the Rams.
I don't know. He's the kind of player that you can plug him in anywhere. You know, if someone's stopping something, you can change him. Like, he's just so versatile.
I believe he touched the ball in like 63%.
Oh, so he's playing. So they're playing the Cowboys, and I don't think they're going to beat the Cowboys.
I don't think they'd beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are one. I mean, and I'm also a Washington fan, lifelong. So, you know, you never want to believe the Cowboys are good, even when it was, you know, Aiken and Emmett and everything. Right?
Yeah.
So
Aikman,
good.
yeah. And they were. I mean, they're so good that, you know, yeah, whatever. 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Irvin,
Yeah.
Sanders.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Go Steelers.
I think the Cowboys are another
Like-
team that are. But like, here's the thing with the Cowboys, right? Let's talk about after week 9, right? Let them get through
No,
week
you're
9.
right. And ESPN and all the talking heads love to, like, every year you hear how great the Cowboys are going to be this year. And
Well,
then
it's
they
because-
fuck it up, you know?
That's because Jerry Jones is down there pumping. You know, he's on the NFL commission. That's why the Cowboys are always, 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 always on TV. They're
Sure.
always the game of the week, or they're the number one NFL game, or the Sunday night game. They're always,
You're 2 for 14. Yeah.
yeah. So, and that's why they talk them up, right? Follow the money, you know. I think the Browns.
Why, Jerry Jones rich?
No, he owns a fucking football team.
The Browns, I think, are surprisingly good again.
I wasn't as surprised. Yeah, they've been on a steady uphill, right?
Yeah, but I like Baker Mayfield, right? I think even after last year, there was some doubt in him. He's fucking good, man.
He is. He's turning out to be a solid guy. He makes
Who
good
else?
commercials now too.
Carson Wentz. What do you think about Carson Wentz?
Tom
Nah.
hates Carson Wentz. He loves Nick Foles.
Really?
Yes. He
Nick
actually,
Foles is dumber than a bag of hammers.
he
I don't give a
refers to him
fuck.
exclusively
Is
as
he?
Big Dick Nick.
He
Big Dick
stares,
Nick, man.
stares down receivers. The only reason Nick Foles had the success he had in those playoffs in that Super Bowl is because how smart Doug Pearson and I can't remember who the offensive coordinator was.
It's
But you've got
the head coach now for the Colts. It's Frank Wright.
yeah, so you had a head coach, an offensive coordinator, and a quarterback coach that had all been successful, relatively successful NFL quarterbacks that were looking at this guy who's got like all the arm talent in the world and 0 between his ears. And they're like, this is how we call plays for Foles.
Yeah, but
They
why
just
get rid of
understood
him?
their guy.
Yeah, but why get
Because you
rid of
don't
him?
go to war with the army you want. You go to the war with the army you have, right?
Yeah, but why? So you win a Super Bowl with the guy, and then you let him go to the Jags? Why let him leave?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You're wild, dude. I think Carson Wentz is the
I
biggest
watched this
bust
guy
in
play
NFL history.
Arizona. Like this, he's not a starting NFL quarterback. Period.
What do you think about the Cardinals?
I think they're good. They're not going to do anything.
They're performing better than I expected.
Yeah, they're going to be good. They're not going to make a Super Bowl run. They're not going to go deep. They're going to play well.
I mean,
they're going to surprise some people. They're going to lose a couple games you expected them to win.
I'm biased, I think, but I think there's a chance that every NFC West team makes playoffs.
Tommy loves the NFC West.
I don't.
The Cardinals,
Seattle, and the Rams.
I don't know. Seattle has surprisingly struggled compared to what I thought, and they don't have Sherman.
Yeah, did you see Sherman signed with the Bucs?
Did he sign with the Bucs?
Yeah, it's done.
A 1-year deal.
Tommy's getting another ring.
Oh, I don't know about that, dude.
And I don't mean you. I mean the GOAT.
I don't know, man. The Bucs have actually. I think Kansas City and the Bucs aren't as good as they were last year. I think the Rams can easily take out the Bucs. And I think the Raiders, or even Baltimore for that matter, could probably take out Kansas City.
I'd have to take a look at the Rams defense a little better before I made a call between them and the Bucs, though.
They got Aaron
I'm
Donald.
all about defense, man. I watch these offenses light it up all season, and then they're out in the first round, right? And it's a lot of fun to watch. But other than, I mean, there have been a couple of exceptions, right? The greatest show on turf. Those Rams didn't have a great defense. They could kind of hold most people to less than 30 points, and that's all they needed.
Yeah.
Who else, though? I mean,
Tommy, did you see
nobody like tells great Super Bowl stories about great offenses. No. It always comes down to defense.
And all they talk about is quarterbacks going into it. So
exactly. And we always talk about offense. Like you surround the quarterback with all the right tools and they're going to make a run. They're not. Because they're going to get their ass handed to them the second someone punches them in the mouth.
So what you think? So you think the Bucs? You think the Bucs defense won that Super Bowl?
With Sherman, they might. That dude is fucking legit.
He is, dude, but he's old. Even his last couple years with the Niners, dude, wasn't great.
It doesn't have to be. He's smart.
He is. He
will lay some wood. He might not cover your number one receiver, but he'll cover your number three so you can double someone else.
And he'll be terrifying covering your number three.
And he'll knock a couple heads. But he'll be in the locker room and he'll be teaching the young guys.
Yeah.
I think we undervalue that.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Richard Sherman. I got a signed football from him.
Do you really?
He's grabbing it.
I do, baby.
Got it wrapped up like a sandwich.
I got it wrapped up because I wanted to get one of those football cases for it.
Like a sandwich.
Yeah.
I know what I need to get Tom for Christmas.
A sandwich?
No, like one of those little cases that you can put football in.
Oh, like a shadow box kind of thing?
Yeah, so I need two of them because this is my other prized possession.
Or Tom, just go to Michael's. They sell them there.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll be going to Michael's soon. Because this is my other prized possession.
Oh, yeah.
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
That's the fucking goat right there, baby.
What's his name? Fucking quarterback from the Packers. I should not be.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah. He kind of let him have it. A little passive aggressive this last week, and I thought it was pretty good.
Rodgers did?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I guess McAfee had made a comment about, like, maybe Rodgers just doesn't want to be there, so he's not playing his best. And so then Rodgers, like, lights it up for 2 weeks, and this week he's sitting there, and it's like chillaxing in a hoodie on his couch, and he's like, yeah, so, I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of feedback from your mic.
Can you hear the cricket?
No, but I was like hearing myself there a little bit. Now it stopped.
Are you going to clean that up in post-production, or are you just going to leave it shitty like you did my voice on the Afghanistan podcast?
I'm going to leave it shitty. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. Jesus.
I'm messing with you.
I don't make enough to have a production team, so.
Well, you could have Pat if he was even semi-equal a partner.
I'm the content guy. He's the quality. I'm the content.
If Pat could figure out how to just turn on his computer, that would be helpful.
Computer's on right now, fuckface.
Hey, Pat, figure out how to navigate the Mac OS in just a couple minutes today.
What now, bitch?
Yeah, he called me. He's like, he's got an Apple, dude. This shit's fucked. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. Dude.
I said, you got to drop these pictures in. I can't fucking figure it out.
Yeah, I'm. The Niners are actually playing Seattle, and I'm a little nervous. I always get nervous when they play Seattle, because it's interdivision. But
Seattle's been struggling.
This will either be one of the best weeks in football of the year, or a very revealing week in football for the year.
Why can't it be both?
It can.
Does that have to be an or?
But if there's a bunch of blowouts, then that's not gonna do much for entertainment.
No, not for entertainment, but I think it's still revealing.
Oh yeah.
And if depending on who you're rooting for, it can still be very entertaining too.
That's true.
last football question: what do you think of the Raiders?
I've been surprised by the Raiders. Like, I love Chucky. I was so excited that he was coming back to the NFL. There are a few things I enjoy more than watching a head coach get like super geeked up on the sideline. And he's one of those guys, man. Like, that was one of my favorite, like the old NFL videos of like, what was his name? Hank Stram from the old Chiefs.
Just losing his fucking
mind.
He's
like 27 toss power split. Yeah, my 27 toss power split. Yeah. Like, it's just, I love coaches, man. I love the guys that get really into it.
So do you just hate Bill Belichick?
Yeah, he's just so boring. Like, what happened today? They played better than us.
Yeah, that's it. He, you know what I was thinking about him when I was watching the game this week was he needs to have a makeup crew come in because he looks so much different from Monday Night Football till now. It's crazy. He looks like a full-blown drunk because his face is so red all the time.
Tommy,
But he's not. He wasn't excited on Monday Night Football.
That's true too. It wasn't
just the makeup. He, his hair was done and it stayed done. He probably puts himself together before the game, and then they go out for warm-ups, and he's already like a heartbeat away from a stroke before the opening kickoff ever happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I dig that.
Steven's impression and just overall conversation about coaches has just led me to the next game that we'll be playing on the podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. It's going to be fucking fun.
Thanks for that.
Can you why Bill Belichick's the greatest mind in NFL history?
I promise you it will have nothing to do with Bill Belichick.
You can't talk about coaches without talking about Bill Belichick.
Oh, you'll see. It's going to be a
Do you think so? Because I think it's over and done for. I think the debate of if it was Brady or Belichick, it's fucking Brady, man.
No. If Belichick gets a quarterback in that can run the offense, he'll be fine. We were talking about this earlier. Here's the deal with Belichick. Belichick's a defense guy. All right, he came up as a defensive coordinator. Bill Parcells, who is in the Hall of Fame, has never even taken a team to the playoffs. Forget a Super Bowl. Parcells has never taken a team to the playoffs without Bill Belichick on his coaching staff. Bill Belichick brought the Browns to the NFC Championship game, and they would have beat the Redskins had Ernest Biner not fumbled on the one. And the Redskins come back down the field and win the game.
I feel like that
the
happened.
Browns. This is the perennial garbage team in the NFL. This is like, let's start some second stringers and get them some repetitions in case someone gets hurt later in the season. Browns.
Yeah.
Belichick had them poised for the Super Bowl. This is the guy that redesigned a defense around Lawrence Taylor to let him loose, put him in the Hall of Fame. Like, this is the greatest mind we've seen. How about in football history, right? Because who is his protege? Who was on Bill Belichick's coaching staff on the Browns and still calls Belichick for coaching advice?
God, I hope you have the answer.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, though. Fucking Alabama's coach. Nick Saban. Yeah. Nick Saban is is Belichick's protege.
Well, but so you look at all the coaches that have coached with Belichick over the years, right? Not one of them that left the Patriots organization has ever been successful.
Well, Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Nick Saban's one of the most.
I'm saying in the NFL.
People coached for Belichick before the Patriots. His career hasn't only been the Patriots.
The last 20 years.
The longest successful stint.
Yeah.
He's not been unsuccessful anywhere.
Tommy, I think I sent you the meme. There's a dude, I can't think of fucking who it is, but he started after Brady has retired and made the Hall of Fame, and Brady's still playing. I was like, what the fuck?
It happens, man. He's a beast, dude. Dude, and I'm not even like, I love to see it, right? You love to see greatness. You can hate it. Like, if I was a basketball fan, right, you'd say it about LeBron James. You hate it, but at the same time, it's awesome to see what Brady's doing. He's an animal. He's a
I'm
fucking.
glad that I get to be alive for it.
Yeah, like you'll never. And to think, dude, like I love when they show his draft picture, that combine photo of him, dude. Like all slumped over, fucking gut and everything, and now he's a beast. He's just immortal. You know, it's.
How he's named Giselle.
Yeah, it's I love it. I'm pumped for that game. My son's a Patriots fan because he grew up there, and I looked at tickets to the game Sunday. Whew, they're pricey, real pricey. You can't even
What's a cheap ticket?
Huh?
What's a cheap ticket?
The cheapest ticket I found was in the nosebleed for $500. Actually,
God.
I'll look right now, real quick. Yeah, because I was like, oh, that his birthday's Sunday, so I was like, oh, let me look at tickets. And I was like, oh, what better of a game to go to than that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And let's see.
But yeah, and I'm not saying that to diminish anything Brady's done. He's the GOAT. There's just not an argument. There's not an individual thing he does that's the best thing, right? He's just that kind of storybook person that when if you're second or third best at everything, then it all when it all washes out, you're the best.
Well, he's got to be the best at coming back.
Other people will come back too, right?
That frequently?
Well, I mean, other people haven't played for 45 years.
Speaking of coming back, Tommy, did you see the fucking field goal that kept Miss Elizabeth in the survivor pool this week?
The 66-yarder? He's a beast, dude. Shit. You want to talk about for the brand dude and Pat McAfee? Justin Tucker is the fucking GOAT. You know, like that. He's one of the most clutch field goal kickers in football. And then he nails,
Vinatieri?
So he's the all-time leading scorer in the NFL. But I'm saying, I mean, he's up there. But I think Tucker's going to pass.
Vinatieri has, one or two AFC Championship game wins at the last second and 2 or 3 Super Bowls at the last second?
He does. I'm just saying, man, like you're talking about overall leg. Like Justin Tucker, man, 66-yard field goal.
The Pro Bowl of the year, it was Aker. I don't remember his first name now. Aker. I think he kicked for the Eagles too.
He kicked for the Niners. I want to say it's David Akers. He kicked a 64-yarder for the Niners.
It was him and Vinatieri were the 2 Pro Bowl kickers, and they played horse.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Like for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was like their thing. Like the quarterbacks are doing their skill thing and the receivers are doing their skill thing. And the 2 place kickers played horse. And it was like, I'm going to set it up over here in this corner and bend it like Beckham through the uprights and stuff. And it was awesome. And they were like neck and neck until it was just leg strength. And Vinatieri couldn't keep up with him because Akers was a beast.
That's fucking
well, not only that,
so fucking cool. Like,
not only that, Vinatieri is old, man. He was, when he retired or got cut, he was like 46 years old. You know what I mean? So it kind of phased out at the end.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but Justin Tucker's a fucking beast.
With Tom Brady.
Yeah. That's the only motherfucker it's not happening to.
In every sport, too.
Yeah.
I remember towards the end of Kobe's career, he talked about how he didn't do any strength training whatsoever. All of his stuff was conditioning and was specifically designed to keep his body in one piece so that when he made it to the playoffs, he didn't fucking die. Which actually it turns out he did. So, weird turnout on that one.
You're a
Too soon?
fucking, you're a fucking
Was that too
asshole.
soon?
Fucking asshole.
Kobe,
Anyway,
did you figure out you were looking up ticket prices?
yeah, $300.
Oh, 300.
they
There
came
you go.
down.
You're right
That's
in your
good.
wheelhouse. That's like 2 for 1. You said 500.
Tommy, you flew to Florida to have a barbecue and flew back in the same
And
day.
watch people turn left how many times?
No. This was...
You didn't even go to a race?
No, he went to a barbecue.
This is the most, this is the one sport, I'll call it a sport, fuck it.
If chess is a sport, NASCAR is a sport.
NASCAR is the sport I understand the least and can get behind the least of any sport.
Really? Have you ever been to a race?
Yes.
Really? And you weren't like impressed by it?
You know what they did at the race that they don't do on TV? Fucking nothing. They just turned left for 4 hours.
They did have a
the
guy named
one
Dick
difference.
Trickle.
The one difference, Dick Trickle. You better announce where Dick Trickle finishes every Sunday, just so you can say Dick Trickle on TV. ESPN. There was a couple of years there where that dude could have like not wrecked, not done anything, and come in like middle of the pack, and they'd go through and like Dale Earnhardt won, and whoever fucking tied comes in second.
Dick Trickle trickled in the middle of the pack.
Dick Trickle comes in 25th, just so they could say Dick Trickle. The cool thing about it was you got the headset and you could listen to the drivers talking to their pit crews. So I have a healthy respect for how much troubleshooting drivers do, like how much they understand the car, the way it feels, what they need to communicate to the pit crews so they know what adjustments they need to make to the car when they pit. They're not just driving.
Yeah.
Totally appreciate and respect that. This is still a bunch of dudes driving really fast and turning left fucking ad nauseum.
500 times.
No, it's 500 laps. It's like 2,000 times. They just.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, they turn left 2,000 times to make it.
Not many races are 500 laps, just so we're clear here. But anyway, see, I think it's cool how close they can get to each other without wrecking, and then if you understand the aerodynamics of the car, them getting loose, one of them sliding up the track, like that's what I'm looking at. Like I understand it's just them going in fucking circles, but at the end of the day, like I find it really interesting. I haven't been to a race in a couple of years. I really don't even watch it as much as I used to.
I don't begrudge you for liking NASCAR. I'm just saying, for me, it doesn't in any way, shape, or form interest me. And I tried. I tried.
If that's the part that interested me, then I'd want to know like the exact like degree of spiral on a long football pass and like the percentage of arc and everything else. That stuff, I don't care. If it looks pretty, it looks pretty. And there's nothing pretty about two cars driving close to each other. You know what I mean? Like a swish, when you hear that sound and it's just all net, and you're just like, damn, that was a nice shot. Where in NASCAR, if they're not smashing their fucking cars into each other, I'm really not interested.
See, I love it, man. They fire up the cars, the smell, the smell of the rubber on the track.
Say, Talladega Nights, best NASCAR movie ever made.
Damn near best comedy.
Hands down. Talladega Nights. Yeah.
Cal Naughton Jr.
If you say
is
Days
putting
of
out his
fucking
best
Thunder,
friend's imaginary
Tom,
fire right now. That is a real best friend.
Will Ferrell is 100 times better actor than Tom Cruise could ever dream of being.
All right, and that's the end of the podcast. Steven, thanks for being on. Pat, thanks for making time for us. I called you Steven. Steve. This has been fun. Pat, you want to get us out of here?
Mims and sirs, I say good day.
Fucking pricks.
Sorry, Tom, I had to do it.
Fucking pricks.
Stay on for a second. Stay on.
Are we doing the other one? Why am I staying on?
Hold on.
Other one.
I can't find it.